Let's get more on all of this now from Andrew McCarthy, former Justice Department attorney whose commentary in the National Review makes some very serious allegations. He joins us tonight from New York. Thanks for being here.
My pleasure.
First, you listened to that, the breaking news at the top of the hour. Your thoughts on all of this as it comes together?
Well, the thing that stuck out to me most, Brett, was it seems to me like the Justice Department may be, in connection with this fellow Kadzik, setting up an argument that if you email from your personal address, arguably after hours, that's not a government record. If that's going to be their new position on this, that is quite a substantial change in what we thought were the facts of the Clinton emails case. With respect to the other new disclosures, I think it shouldn't be surprising to us that the Clinton Foundation has been the subject of investigation. It's a little surprising that it kind of emerged so suddenly in that Wall Street Journal report earlier this week. But I do think you're always potentially making a mistake when you take an investigation that ought to be looked at all as one and disaggregate it. And the FBI has obviously done that in connection with, putting the white-collar stuff in one box and the classified information stuff in another box. That's often a way that things that ought to be looked at closely fall through the cracks. So I'm glad to see they're doing it. I wish they were looking at it as one unitary whole.
You charge in this column that the Justice Department appears to be holding back, getting in the way. I talked to Attorney General Loretta Lynch back at the end of February. Here's what she said back then. Who's the ultimate decider at the DOJ?
It depends on how the matter comes together.
But the decider of whether to go forward is you, right?
Well, we'll see what evidence develops and what facts develop, and we'll follow those to their natural conclusion.
Does it concern you, though, that there is this perception that your Justice Department may, in the end, cut Secretary Clinton a break or do her a favor?
No, I think that with every case, we handle it in the same way. Whether someone has an interest in a case because it's interesting in the headlines or because they're personally involved in it.
Bottom line, is there any double standard here?
There's no double standard in this or any other matter being handled by the Department of Justice.
Andrew, because the Attorney General met with former President Bill Clinton on that tarmac in Arizona, you say that took her out of the equation, but didn't stop her, according to your column, from standing or trying to in the way of the Clinton Foundation investigation.
Well, I don't see how that's disputable. I mean, as far as her meeting with former President Clinton is concerned, she herself said it was a mistake and kind of quasi-recused herself from it. And actually deferred to the FBI director on the ultimate decision, which never happens in any other investigation. So, for her to say there's no double standard and this case is being handled the same way, even if we didn't have all these crazy immunity deals where the grand jury doesn't get impaneled and you give immunity in order to get evidence that you can usually compel, which also never happens in any other case, I would say that meeting was highly unusual. But we're also seeing now that these wacky immunity deals that they gave were used, according to the Wall Street Journal report, to deny the agents investigating the Clinton Foundation case access to what was on the laptops of Cheryl Mills and Heather Samuelson. And I simply point out that somehow that case seems to have gotten before prosecutors in the Eastern District of New York, which just happens to be the district office that Loretta Lynch was the U.S. attorney in for 6 years before she was elevated to Attorney General by President Obama. Yeah. It also happens to be the office in which she came to national prominence because she was named U.S. attorney in 1999 by President Bill Clinton, the same guy she was meeting with in the tarmac.
Right.
So,
the immunity